What's happening, HC Nation? This is Zach Edwards with another episode of... Wait. You're wondering what I'm wearing? Oh, yeah. I just got back from Peru. Yes, that's right. So, my wife and I and a few other people were able to go down to Peru to talk about the Incas, to go on this huge tour. And we got to go there a day early. I wanted to show you some pictures. I wanted to show you some of the experiences. And I wanted you to experience some of the things we actually went through as we toured Cusco, toured some of the ruins, went to Machu Picchu, went to Lake Titicaca, went to an ancient society that still lives like they did back in the times of BC. So back 2,000 years ago. Now, they do actually have some modernization and such, but it is what it is. Now, where did I go? I went to Cusco. Yeah, Cusco is the capital of Peru. And so, actually, it's not the capital of Peru. Sorry, it's the capital of the Incan Empire in Peru. And Cusco, translated, means the navel of the world. Navel of the world being the center of the world. So, I've got so much to show you. Today, I'm going to break this into 10 different episodes because there's so much information. But the first episode, I'm going to show you some of the things that we did before it all began, before we started doing our tour. Now, we are going to go see museums. We're going to go see the ruins. We're going to see some things that people don't usually ever see. And so I'm going to walk you through a lot of these things and let you have part of this experience with me. So let's bring up our first few pictures, including our good man, Willie. This is our driver. Willie was awesome. He was provided by, actually, you'll see it when I take this off for my next episode, but this was actually part of the America Inca tour. I got their t-shirt on, but I wanted to wear this because of Peru. It's great. Okay, no, full honesty, this is not a Peruvian poncho. If it was, it would probably be made out of alpaca or llama skin, llama fur. This is probably out of wool, and it's hot and itchy, and yeah. So I'll even teach you how to find out if it's real alpaca fur, llama, sheep, or such. So we go through all that. Now, this is Willie. Willie took us on a drive from the airport to our hotel. Now, one of the things that he passed by, this is called the Temple of the Sun, Temple de Sol. Now, interesting enough, this is a cathedral that was placed on top of the temple. And we're going to go through, on day 2, we're going to go through the actual temple ruins and what's left, which is actually inside this cathedral. Now, it's really interesting what they did and why they did it. I'll explain it as we go. But, yep, so let's see. Let's go out a little bit. A little more. There we go. Okay. So I got a few pictures of that as we were driving by. I wanted to get as many pictures as possible, not knowing if we'd be back. But this is actually one of the focal points of Cusco when you first come in. So, this was also the Cristo Blanco, which we will go up to in a little bit. If you know Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro, they actually have this huge Christ statue up on a crucifix, or at least having his hands out, not on a crucifix, but having his hands out. This is just like it, just a little bit smaller. And we're going to go visit that as well. This is another focal point. But interesting enough, here's something that a lot of people don't tell you about. But in Peru, you're going to see tons of dogs running down the streets. Dog here, dog there. They're everywhere. But you won't see any cats. But they're still around. You just don't see them because they cannot be on the streets. Well, cannot be or do not are two different things. Now, one person said it was illegal. I haven't actually looked that up yet. Be something to look up. Put in my comments below, please. But the cats actually roam the roofs while the dogs roam the streets. Now, I got a great picture of one psycho cat, and I'll show you to you in one of our episodes. Now, in here, this is actually a courthouse. As you can see, it is a courthouse, so it's very secure. They actually have bars on like all their windows that are down low. And this is another center point of Cusco, their court system. And this was our hotel. Now, this is Tierra Vista. Tierra Vista is an awesome hotel to stay at. I mean, just look at it. Look at it. It just looks so nice, but it was so comfortable. We stayed there for the first 2 nights, 3 nights. And then after that, we left to go to Machu Picchu, and then we came back. What was interesting about that is then I got a second hotel room, another room, and its mattress was not the best. But the first one was amazing. The second one was just a little bit harder, but the room was amazing still. So I wish they could put the two together. Anyways, but that's it. Okay. So, and then we went to around the streets. Now, this is Tierra Viva. So this is the hotel that we stayed at. It's a 3-star hotel. It's interesting because all the hotels you'll see have this H and 1, 2, or 3 stars. I've never saw a 4-star, but that might be because it's a very ritzy place. That would be a 4-star. We did not stay in a very ritzy area. And this is what the streets look like. I have a few more pictures when it comes to the streets, like this one. So this is the street that we walk down every morning and every time that we wanted to walk out of our hotel. The roads were completely packed at times. And this is the sidewalk. Now, this is actually a wider sidewalk than normal. Normally, it gets down to where one person can walk down it, and then you have to scoot around the other person to get around. And as you can see, all the roads are paved in what? Cobblestone. This is like Philadelphia has some places that are still cobblestone, but there's no asphalt. There's no concrete. It's too expensive. But this rock they actually make themselves, and so they made cobblestone. But look at the sidewalks. They're all the same. They're all made of these kind of stones, and the stones in the streets are the same as well. Now, funny enough, the way that they drive in Cusco is like there are no lines in the streets. They'll go onto the opposite side. If they need to get around someone, they'll go in between the curb and the next car over if they think they can squeeze through in order to get ahead. It is amazing how that no one gets in accidents. Now, there are probably accidents, but we didn't see one. And the way that they drive, it's like being in New York City, but worse. And yet they drove so well. It's just, I don't know. A person from the United States going to Cusco and driving would probably have a really hard time. Except, unlike other countries, they actually do drive on the same side as we do. So I thought that was interesting as well. Okay. So, another thing you're going to find, and I should actually have it here. Let me pause this. I'm going to grab this very special thing of mine. 1 second. I want to show you this. Okay, this is very special to me. Check this out. No, it is not a pride flag. Well, it is a pride flag. It's the pride of the Incas and Cusco. This is literally the flag of Cusco. Most of the time, it does not even have a symbol here, but I got the symbol because I wanted to show it was from Cusco and not to be questioned by others. So the rainbow flag is actually of ancient times. So we have this flag was officially adopted by Cusco in 1974, but the Incas have actually been using this flag for over 2,000 years. That's right. The rainbow flag has always been a sign of the Incas. And the Incas are so great because they their culture is to remember the rainbow as the rainbow nation. There's a lot of rain in the area, it creates a lot of rainbows. Now, there is actually a tale as well when it comes to a large amount of water that came through and a rainbow that reminded them of something. I'm just going to leave that out there and let you decide what that means. But I love this flag because I love Cusco. Cusco is a great city in Peru, and I'm a total fan of Peru now. This is awesome. I'm also a fan of the American Inca Trails. They are a great tour agency. There we go. And also Tierra Viva, which is the hotel that we stayed at. Now, all those things are great. Let's keep going. Okay, so in these pictures, you're going to see a lot of these rainbow flags. These are, again, not the pride flag. These are ancient flags that are officially accepted by Cusco to become their city flag. So, well before anyone else try to claim it. Okay. Whoops. Now I got to go on. So more streets of Cusco, more of the roads. And this is literally all the roads are like the same. Oh, and then we actually did walk down to the Temple de Sol because we wanted to see what it was like. And we found out it was like 15 soles. Now, what's interesting about a soles, and I'll show you it next time, a soles is basically the value. $1 is worth 3.56 soles. That was the largest exchange rate that we were able to get while we were down there. But going into this place was 15 soles. And if you got a tour guide, it was 50 soles. Okay, so 50 soles would probably be about what? $12 to $14. Really rough. But with that, we were like, no, well, we'll hold off until the rest of our group is there. We got there a day early than our group. And so that was because we wanted to be able to see around the area. I became known as GPS. That was my nickname that everyone gave me because I memorized the streets so well. They could ask me where something was and I'd walk them straight to it. So that was just interesting. Okay. Whoa, I don't know why that was so small. Well, that stinks because that's way above. Oh, yeah. This is my wife and little lamb. And come to find out, if you meet one of these people, these nice Inca ladies, these nice Peruvian ladies, and they have a lamb or a llama and ask you to take pictures, they're going to want you to pay 10 soles to take a picture with them. But they won't ask for it until afterwards because technically they're not allowed to ask for it. It's a tip. Now, in Peru, they don't actually ask for tips. Their tips are not required, much like in the United States. They do not expect them. They do appreciate them. But yeah. I'm actually surprised. Oh, I don't have mine because my wife took my picture. Okay. So, and then this is the Temple de Sol. More of Temple de Sol. More of Temple de Sol. Here is also some monuments. I mean, they've got some great monuments all around. They've got these parks everywhere where it's like a city square and people can gather and have different things going on. And you're going to see one of these later on. This is a nice little lady that we found. They are all like this. They all have the top hats. They all have the colorful blankets where they wrap up their goods or whatever they're trying to transport, and they carry them over their shoulder. It's like a backpack, but without being a backpack. It's a satchel of goods. Most of the time, it's a blanket that they just pick up from the four corners and throw it over their shoulders and walk everywhere they go. I have to imagine they've got some bad backs after a while. But, I mean, old ladies, like 80-year-old ladies, all walking around. And as one of our tour guides loved to tell us, they are all healthy. Up to like 100 years old, you've got ladies doing their laundry, carrying heavy things. Why? Because they eat organic. No soda pop and treats and things that Americans eat all the time, because they eat organic and they chew what's called cocoa leaves, which I'll talk about later on. They can actually do a lot more than most people. He's like, yeah, well, I saw it. It is true. They were doing a lot more than I expected. So a few more pictures of some of the cathedrals and other things in the area. That's a much better picture. Okay, this is as we go down to the Plaza de Armas. Now, the Plaza de Armas, and also this is really cool, because we were there during a celebration. Now, this celebration was called the Light and Sound Festival in the Plaza de Armas, but it's actually all part of the Corpus Christi celebration. And this is a celebration of the saints down in Peru. Now, there's a lot more to it, and actually our tour guide will go into it in day 2 about what the saints actually represent and what they replaced when the Spanish took over the Incan lands. So again, today is just a tour. Today's just going through and getting to experience all these things. And there were floats everywhere. There was a demon llama. Where's the demon llama? That's the mechanical llama, I think. But there's all these different floats and everything. This was cool. This was a puppy as a marionette. Let's see. No demon llama. Oh, too bad. I hope I got the demon llama. Demon llama was quite interesting. If not, I have friends that will give it to me. pictures. I have no idea why I took pictures of this guy. He looked a little disturbed. Oh, I do know why I was taking a picture of this guy. Again, it was a celebration of Corpus Christi, but normally it's a celebration of their dead. Again, I'm not going to tell you more until tomorrow, until day 2. Okay, little panoramic. They had some amazing cathedrals. It was so awesome to walk through and to check them out. So this was one of the major cathedrals in Cusco. Yeah, I think it was just taking a picture of the plaza. They have a monument to their number one king. Now, if you remember from the Adventure Box podcast and the text that we give you, you're going to remember about a certain leader. Now, we'll go back over to it. His name is Pecunia? No. I will find it in just 1 second. Give me 1 second to find this name. That's what it was. Pachacuti. So Pachacuti, if you remember, was the leader that actually was the second heir to the throne. So his brother was supposed to get the throne from his dad when his father passed away. But all of a sudden, a rival tribe, now this is before it became the Incas, and, well, I've got something to tell you about that. It's not actually called the Incas, but before the empire was started, you had basically the 8th ruler. When they were being attacked, he left the city with his son, but Pachacuti actually stayed around. Now, he stayed around, he organized the people, he fought back, and they won. Then when the king came back, they said, we don't like you. We do not honor you. We honor Pachacuti. Because he actually stayed with them. So because he stayed with them, he became ruler, and now he is known as the number 1 biggest ruler, except he is number 9 in the line of 14, which we will talk about tomorrow. Now, also to know, there is no such thing as the Incas. This is a name that the Spanish gave to them. Inca was actually their king. It was the title of the king. They were called by their language, which was Quechua. Quechua was the language that they all speak, which is why they are actually the people of Quechua. Now, people like to say the Inca Empire because they were all combined, but that was not. It was all under the rule of the Inca ruler, the number 1 king or ruler over the whole empire. But it was not actually the Inca people, it is the Quechua people, or the Aymara people, which is in Puno. So these are 2 different languages. And then there's also one other language that was spoken, which was not actually, and again, our tour guides will actually teach you more about this as we go. But then there's the Pukuna, which is what the royals spoke, and that is a lost language at this point. Okay, so let's keep going. We're still in the Plaza de Armas, seeing all these people, and then we see this celebration. Now, we've been listening to this the whole time that we've been walking around, but I want to show you this. Let's see, where is it? Nope, here it is. Okay. These were just some of the celebrations we had. And we have a whole bunch more of these as we go. So let me see. I'll give you maybe 1 or 2 more. But I had to get a better positioning because a lot of these people were starting to get in my way of taking these pictures. Again, I was not ready for this because we were there a day early, and I didn't actually know of how this was all situated. So I had to get to a better positioning. So here we go. So a better one here. Come on. Okay, here's the next one. These were all the people that were gathered around at this day of the celebration. Now, this day of the celebration was not the worst one. It was actually the next day that would be so packed that we couldn't even get into the plaza. This was during the day. This was some of the pre-celebrations that were going on. And I just repeated the same one. Okay. Here we go. Oh, this was fun. So there's two groups. These are all the women, and these are all the men. Look how energized the men are. We're going. But watch, who dances? It's like the women almost the whole time. This was so great to watch. Everyone was so energized. The people. Now, interesting enough, this was actually today was actually the students all doing it. So these are all students from different schools around the country of Peru. Now, the Inca Empire was actually in Ecuador and Colombia, parts of Brazil, Peru mostly, all of Peru, but mostly in Peru, and then down into Chile. So these schools all come around from Peru to this one central spot to be able to celebrate Corpus Christi, Saints' Day. Now there was actually some better dances, but most of them were where I was just not in the right spot to take video of. And as you can see, this is going to be a long video, so I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but it was such a great celebration to be there, to be part of the people there, to talk to some of them. I should have interviewed them. That would have been great. I did not. Maybe next time. Okay, so now here come the men. And it's really funny. You're thinking, okay, now the men are going to do all this dancing, and then the winds start up again. It's like, what? Did they just bounce around the whole time? The men do. But as you can see, the next group is actually coming up behind them. So I'm going to end this one. Okay. So there was a lot of great dances. There was a lot of great culture at this point. We will go over why all this was happening, when it was happening, as we go. Oh, I guess I just repeated this. Let's bypass all these videos. Okay, here we go. So again, more cobblestone streets. This was actually a really high incline. I wanted to show that. All these cars just roll right down, that close to you. And this is above Cusco. This is at least the vantage point that I could get at this point. This is actually one of the schools I was in the courtyard of. And as you can see, the fences. And I was looking for cats. Couldn't find them. But supposedly they're up there. See, that was one of the courtyards of some of the places. Like every place has a courtyard. One thing you need to know. So there is the French Quarter in New Orleans. And it's really interesting because a lot of it's the same way. It was all rebuilt by the Spanish. Now the Spanish, what they had was the side of the roads was not the front of the house. You actually drove into a courtyard to come to the front of the house, the more ornate part of the house. So like everyone has a courtyard in here as well. So there are courtyards all throughout the city. Like nearly every block has a courtyard or 5 or 6 of them. Yeah, and there's just a lot of pictures. Viva el Peru. And the other side right here that you can't see right here is a symbol of its coat of arms. It has a llama, it has a tree, and it has a comb. Call it comb. It's Like when you see a Thanksgiving feast, you have this like basket almost where all this fruit is coming out of. But for them, it's not fruit that's coming out of, it's gold and copper and silver. It's all the things that make the economy run for Peru. We'll get a better picture of it later on. So you can see the Viva el Peru. And there's the cathedral. I gotta say, I would go back any day, except for customs. Security in the airport was probably the worst part of the whole trip. And one of our associates getting sick. Yeah, they had a whole day where they couldn't come and do the tours. I'm glad I did not get a parasite like they did. I love the music. Sorry, I think it's buffering. It's focusing on the hopefully you're getting the video through. Okay. It's just okay, I gotta pause it right here. So every time I turn on a video, it makes it buffer. So hopefully when the video shows, it's not gonna be buffering. But you gotta see this one guy right here. I lost where he is. He's right here. This guy, now all of these are dressed up as different parts of the Incan royalty. Now, while these are kings and queens and servants of them and such, they're all going to do a performance. This one right here is a deer. And he acts the part the whole time. And they're literally waiting for about 30 minutes to maybe 40 minutes for their parts to come up. And it just keeps going and going. My wife's like, oh, I'm hungry. I want to go to dinner. I'm like, okay, we can go to dinner. And so we had to leave just as they start doing their thing, and we leave after a little bit of it. So we might catch a little bit on here. But you can see these are the people that are actually dressed up as the royalty. This is Pachacuti, and he's walking around, and then he has his queen there. And I don't know who all the rest of the people were, but you can see how they're dressed as if they were Incas. With their shields and everything and swords. Actually, that might have been Pachacuti right there. I'm not quite sure which one was which. But anyways, zoom back out. The deer is not in this picture. Ah, there he is. There he is. Okay, I got him. He was strutting himself the whole time. He was laying down on the ground like a deer would do. And then he's getting up and he's bucking around where he wants to. He was the most entertaining part of this whole group. But he was constantly moving. Even if when he was laying down, he was moving. And face paint, deer hide, everything. And it actually goes back to the history of the Incas. And when they did celebrations just like this. Okay, let's go back. Some more pictures. He's still strutting his stuff. There you go. There's a better picture of him. And the king. Yep, that was the deer. It's funny that I focus on that one. Okay. Watch the deer. Watch the deer. Strutting himself. Down on the ground. Like, what in the world is he doing? Okay, he did a lot more than that. But again, they were waiting for like 45 minutes to finally get to this point. And this would be, I think this is day 2. The start, no. Oh yeah. So this is day 2, but I wanted to show you this one last thing, and then I'm going to end this episode, and we'll go into day 2 when we actually go on the tours. These are guinea pigs. They're the national delicacy for Peru is guinea pigs. That's right, the nice little cute little pets you have. No, they ate them, and there was a lot of them. Let's see, and potatoes, lots of potatoes, lots and lots of potatoes. Corn husks. Yeah, they have a lot of maíz, which is corn. Oh, really? I didn't show the bigger. Oh, I guess this was it. Yeah, there were so many buckets of guinea pigs, just tons and tons and tons of them. Even here, more guinea pigs. It was their national food. Interesting enough, though, they weren't being refrigerated. They had them out there on the streets. I guess they had to basically cook them really well. I tried it. It wasn't that bad. Yeah, I didn't eat a whole one, but I did try it. One of my other associates was eating it, and I got a good amount. And they kept its little paw. Poor little guy. Okay, I'm going to end it there because this was just a fun road down memory lane. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of history coming up. But I wanted to give you this before we get to that point. So we will catch you next time. Thank you so much for joining us. And don't be caught like these little guys. Ready to eat. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. Eat more of these. Potatoes. They're good. Corn. That's good too. There were some great markets here as well. Well, I'll tell you about the San Pedro market later, next time. Thanks so much for joining us, and we will catch you next time. Take care, everyone. Bye. If you have any comments or questions, add them to the comments below. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow, actually. Take care. Bye.